Hey everyone, and welcome back. We are playing Pillars of Eternity with the DLC White March. Endgame content. See if we can finish this today, maybe. Let's continue our game. Let's get started. See where we are. See how many quests we have. See if we're done with the White March yet. Wait for this to load up. Here we go. Let's see. Still have this. Repair the artillery lift. See, we did this. We did all these. So I don't know why it's saying to still do it. Let's go down and talk to
Zawa, you mind if I borrow some of that Malkachoa?
You are searching for insight?
Nah, I was just gonna feed it to Durance while he was sleeping and pretend to be the ghost of Aethys.
I also have a pepper that will make him think he is being slowly devoured by a great serpent, if you are interested.
Of course.
Let's go over here and talk to this person and see if it completes the quest or if we missed something. Yesterday we went up, fixed the lever, went up the elevator, fought the flying things. So it should be, unless we missed something, completed.
That was incredible! Hollowborn spit flames when you did whatever you did. And the smoke! Ha! I saw it from here!
Nice.
And now to see about these cannons.
She starts for the door, but then she remembers something.
This is for you. Found it while we were cleaning out the battery.
How do the cannons work?
If only I could show you. But everyone else is all worried about accidents and injuries. So they've said I can't fire them until there's a real need.
What are you doing out here?
I'm taking care of these lovelies so they can take care of us.
You really like explosions.
Well, back in Stalwart, I learned everything Dana knew about black powder, and a few things she didn't. Them she wasn't so happy about.
Oops.
After what might have been a small mishap in the Stalwart mines, they sent me here to put my talents to better use. I'm headed up the tower, gonna make those cannons shine.
She skips towards the door. So that finished that quest. Journey to the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. I think I need to party with Manhea to do that one. So let's go down. This is probably the quickest path. Go to our town and party up with her.
This place, as beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
That's her. Let's replace him.
Very well.
There we go. And now we can go to there. Abbey of the Fallen Moon.
So, you said the eyeless came from the Abbey. I'd heard rumors of the eyeless, but I always thought that name was a metaphor. Though I would have called them Mace Hands of Doom, if anyone had asked me.
Nod nonchalantly.
So, this is the mysterious army you've been dreaming about, huh? It's a wonder you're getting any sleep.
That's why I came to the Abbey in the first place, to stop them.
I'm regretting all of my decision-making up to this point. Still, I guess a suicidal plan is better than none.
I thought you'd be happy. You've been looking for the Abbey a long time.
Yeah, there's something I haven't told you.
Her gaze traces a wide arc around you.
Well, I don't normally talk about this, but you mentioned your awakening.
She fidgets with a string of beads.
I guess I've had a similar problem. There's something I remember from a former life. Happened hundreds of years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday.
How did you remember it?
Happened while I was fighting in Old Valia 20 years ago. My unit was camped out in the palace we'd just taken. The others were roasting the last of the Marcheso's pigs in the feast hall. So, I went to the wine cellars to fetch a few bottles.
She works her fingers into a knot.
I don't know how long she'd been hiding there, but there was this old woman. Must have been one of the servants.
Her fingers curl into fists.
She had this wild look in her eyes. I approached her and tried to tell her not to be afraid, that she was safe.
Renea holds out her hand, revealing the memory.
She screamed and grabbed my arm.
Closes her eyes.
It felt like someone had hit me in the back of my head. I blacked out for a few minutes, and when I came to, she was gone.
Go on.
I took a few bottles up with me, feasted with the rest of the troops. But when I went to bunk, I had a dream.
She shivers.
Only it was more vivid than any dream I've ever had. I tasted the sweat on my lips, felt the jungle air on my skin, heard the cries.
She stops and swallows, shaking her head. This dream, this was a memory?
Like when you hear a song you know you've heard before. Anyway, I laid off the drink for several days, but I kept having the dream. After a few weeks, I thought a change of scenery might do me good. Since then, I've been a pirate in the Deadfire, a pilgrim in the White That Wends, an adventurer in the Living Lands, and a gift-bearer in a Shamadal.
She gives you a rueful smile. What's this memory?
It was a war, centuries ago before Adiran unification.
She folds her hands in front of herself.
I was a soldier then. Led a campaign across the northern forests to subdue some of the outlying Kulklan villages. Brutal work.
Go on.
Lost a third of my forces to the forest, and another third to the elven scouts hiding in it. By the time we reached the first village, we'd crushed their defenses, and they'd bled us.
Shakes her head.
Wasn't much more than children and the elderly left, but they spit on us when we marched into town.
A scowl twists her face. Her eyes are cold.
The village elders surrendered and offered us lodging in the old meeting hall. And when the sun set, they tried to burn it down around us.
She closes her eyes.
They barely got a flame going, but that wasn't the point.
They betrayed you after surrendering. Seems serious to me.
and would that I'd had your principles.
She swallows.
In their defiance, I saw months more of pointless, bloody battle as we fought for the rest of the region.
I
I
had
had
to break
them.
Oh.
And I had to send a message to the rest of the villages.
Her hands shake as she raises them to cover her face.
So I nailed every last one of them to the trees around the town and left them there to die.
You've been a mercenary and a pirate in this life. Is that really so different?
I've done my share of fighting these 40-odd years, but I've never drawn my blade just to watch someone bleed. And I've never drawn it on someone who didn't have his own in hand.
That wasn't you, Manea.
So I've tried to tell myself. I told you I was looking for the Abbey of the Fallen Moon so I could leave something behind. There's a pool there, the Salt Well. It's where gift-bearers leave the heaviest burdens.
She pauses.
It's said that a person can enter it and leave their own memories behind.
There's a distant, hungry look in her eyes.
Anyway, we should get going.
She shoulders her pack, and you catch a glimpse of something unusual in it, a thick roll of cloth bound by leather. What's that?
Something I've been saving for better days.
She tucks it away. Let's go. So I need to find that well. Uh... Be inside. Let's go in the main door.
Hard to imagine a whole sect living out here. But I guess that's the point.
That wouldn't be out here, would it? Salt Well. Take a quick look. I don't see a well. That salt well. Is this it? The vault of forgotten thoughts.
Smells like an ocean breeze. We've got to be close. It's here. The salt well.
Imagine that. In the room is a pool. It's small but deep enough that you can see the bottom. The glassy surface almost looks frozen. So does Manea. She stands rooted in place, staring at it.
You know, I thought it'd be bigger.
That's what she said. Looks deep anyway.
Gift bearers say the heaviest regrets and greatest sorrows get left here. So it better be.
She peers in. And I thought you'd be diving in by now.
Ugh.
Manea makes a little noise of frustration in the back of her throat. Ugh.
You know how when you've been thinking about something so long, you're worried that when you finally get it, it won't be what you expected?
She tugs at one of her bracelets.
I mean, for all we know, that thing's just filled with leeches.
You're stalling.
Don't remind me.
Let's see. Hmm?
You're right. Okay, here goes.
She shakes her arms and legs with a jingling of metal. Striding forward, she steps into the pool.
Oh, that's cold!
She convulses with a sudden shiver, rattling her jewelry. She descends the steps until she's standing in water up to her neck. You feel anything?
I think I'm going numb, actually.
She shivers again.
This is the right pool, isn't it?
She frowns and cranes her neck around the room. Maybe you need to get your head in the water too. She gives you a wry, sidelong look. Then she takes a deep breath and submerges. A minute ticks by, two. Minea keeps herself still beneath the water. At last she breaks the surface, wiping the water from her eyes and shaking it from her hair.
Hey, gift bearer or not, don't think I won't pull you in here, too.
Wait, you said gift bearers come here. Maybe you have to leave something behind. Her eyes go wide and she snaps her fingers.
I've got it.
She digs through a pack and produces a thick bundle of cloth bound with leather. It's the same bundle you glimpsed earlier. She snaps the leather cords and unrolls the cloth, revealing a wine bottle.
Took this from the Marcheso's cellar the night I awakened. Been saving it for a special occasion.
Minea cradles the bottle and brushes dust from the green glass. Heaving a sigh, she swings it by the neck and smashes it against the steps. Could have offered me a drink first. Minea drops the rest of the broken bottle into the pool, where it spirals into the depths. Meanwhile, the wine has formed a rolling, bloody cloud in the water. It spreads in long, swirling tendrils. Uh-oh. The surface of the pool ripples, and Minea paddles at the spreading cloud. Crimson tentacles erupt from it, writhing and reaching. Minea grasps as one wraps around her arm.
Hey, she's in trouble!
Wait. Another wine-colored tentacle wraps around her head. She shouts as it pulls her under. Minea disappears into the pool. You can't see anything through the crimson murk, except for the blossoming cloud of wine. The water looks perfectly still again. The seconds crawl by.
We must not linger in this place of foul mysteries.
At last, bubbles break the surface. Minea emerges, grasping and shivering. Her face is strangely slack, and her eyes are bloodshot. Are you all right? She thinks about this for a moment, then she nods. Minea climbs up the steps and out of the salt well. As she does, the reddish color dissipates from the water, leaving only the glassy clear surface. and the unfathomable depths below. What do you remember? She squints, thinking. Water pools at her feet.
I remember running, but I don't remember what chased me. And I remember fear, but I don't remember what scared me.
She looks back at the salt well.
I gave something up, but I don't remember why.
Then it worked. She tilts her head to one side and wriggles a finger in her ear until spurts of water stream out.
I'll take your word for it.
Something drips onto the floor. She holds her right arm up and looks to the trickle of blood running from a cut in her hand. She takes the folded cloth, the one she's wrapped the wine bottle in, from the floor and stanches the bleeding. Linnea was granted clean conscience. She jerks her head towards the exit. Yay! That was an easy one to complete. So this is a party member. This is one of the dragons. Another dragon. Hideout in Copperland. Something. Might skip that one. Party member. I still have this to do. I thought I completed that one. Bring the battle artifact to a cipher. Somewhere in Twin Elms. So we can go do that. Going down here real quick. Yeah, I don't want to do these. These are just send somebody. There we go. So I need to find a cipher.
Hail, Estramore.
An Orlan woman stares at the sky with an air of deep contemplation. She occasionally puffs from a wooden pipe, blowing smoke into perfect rings. What stands before me? She wipes her lips with the back of her hand. Her teeth, uneven and pointy, are stained red. I do not see Estramoran often. She picks the remaining of the orc root stuck in her gums. And believe me, I see many things. Perhaps you want to see them too, yes? She gestures behind her at the assortment of plants, roots, and phales lying on the rug. Let me see what you have to trade. I present these happily. Just gonna buy all the stuff. Except those. That stash. That. That. All this.
Hail, Estramore.
So it's not her. What is this?
We can't stay down here. Someone must go to the nest eventually.
2 wood elves, a man and a woman, wear colorful robes embroidered with the matching emblem, a winged egg. Apart from their clothing, they couldn't be more different. She folds her arms and continually scowls at the broken walls around them. He, on the other hand, mutters prayers, his shape-draped face as tranquil as a cloudless sky.
Just how are we supposed to worship the Sky Mother from among the weeds, This is a disgrace.
Calm yourself. We should be grateful that she protected us from the winged terror. Besides, even here we have a visitor.
What's this winged terror you speak of?
A dragon. One that has taken up residence in the nest, the true temple of Helia, and slain many of her faithful. And one which a new one has been in favor of killing from the beginning.
But no, you advised caution. Now word spread that the dragon ate a few of our followers, and anyone willing to slay it wants an Anumfoth's ransom for the job.
I told you a larger party wouldn't stand a chance. By the time the first half reached the top of the mountain, the second half would still be stuck in the pass. They'd be burned alive. Contrary to Anuin's suggestion, I am in favor of sending someone to kill the dragon. But I suggest a smaller party, and one willing to seek Helia's blessing.
I hear quest music. Good luck with that. I'd best be going. Let me ask you about something else. This is the Temple of Hylia.
You hear this, Wag?
Relax, Anuin. I'm sure he meant nothing by it. Forgive my consort. She's been rather excitable of late. This is not, as you seem to recognize, our actual temple. It's merely a shrine we've set up after the business with the dragon.
I'd like to know more about Hylia.
Why, she's the goddess of song, art, the sky, and maternity. She's gentle and brilliant, speaking to her followers in dreams, inspiration, and birdsong. It is said that she wears a cloak adorned with a feather from every bird known to kith or wilder, and that she manifests in the flocks themselves.
Aye, and in the screams of childbearing, which I can assure you is not so beauteous a thing.
This is true, which is why midwives are widely considered clergy of Helia, as are many artists and poets. In any case, those of us who follow her feel closest to her splendor in a place where we might share light, song, and a view of the blessed sky.
Goodbye. No quest, just information. Is that because I already have a quest for that? Noon frost.